We are here. We made it.
What's that? Yep.
Once again. What do you think about this
I saw
this doll? Rodrigo gave it to me.
Nice.
And it looks like Marcelo Garcia.
Marcelo Garcia. It does.
What does it look like? Does it look like me?
I don't know. I think it looks like Marcelo Garcia.
Garcia,
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Old Rodrigo. How's he doing?
He's doing good, man. He's doing good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good for
doing
him.
really good. Yeah,
guy.
Rickie's son.
Yeah. Yeah. Old Rodrigo. Right on.
You just got a boat. We're just talking. You're telling the story of
Yeah. I just
writing
bought a
not book,
boat.
but YouTube to creating a YouTube channel to.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think people, they get to like my age now, and it's kind of like the second part of their life, right? Like the second half of their life. Mm-hmm. The kids are all grown up and they're on their own. They're doing their own thing, and you're semi-retired, so you find yourself with more time to do things. And I'm always looking for like, what's the next challenge? What's the next adventure? And so I decided I woke up in the morning, decided I wanted to sail to Hawaii. And I've never sailed before. I don't know how to sail. I actually get seasick as well.
You get seasick, and you got a boat.
So I get seasick as well. But I figure you get over that. Like anything else, you'll get over that. And so so I went out and I bought a boat that I can't sail yet. I start sailing classes this weekend. And then I'm going to give myself 6 months to practice a little bit. And I'm hoping by April I'll be able to take off to Hawaii. And then where after that, I don't know. I think
so. You got the sailboat just so you can't back out. So
yeah, it's kind of like you have to commit, right? Like you have to commit because you can sit there and you can tell yourself, I want to do this all the time.
Instead of taking lessons and then, okay, I know how to sail. Now I can buy it. Like
yeah, like you have to commit. Just do it. So I think buying the boat was the biggest commitment you can possibly make, right?
Yeah.
So I bought the boat. Now I got to do something with it, right? So now I'm committed. And so hopefully April I'll take off to Hawaii and. In my head, like I've been mapping it out all with ChatGPT, like kind of the milk run, right? So circumnavigate the globe, starting with the South Pacific, and just keep going around until I end up back in California. So,
are you going to travel around the world?
Yeah, I think that I mean that's the ultimate goal. But I think what's going to happen is because
first stop Hawaii.
I still have a life and I still have things I need to take care of. So I think first stop is Hawaii. And then I'll set up to where I can leave my boat there for some time. I'll fly home from Hawaii and do my stuff here. And then when I'm ready to go again, I'll fly back to Hawaii, get in the boat, and then I'll take off to the next place. And then if I have to leave it there.
I mean, where do you sail to? Where do people usually sail? What's the next stop?
Usually it's Hawaii, and then it's like French Polynesia.
French Polynesia.
Yeah, French Polynesia, then Tahiti. And
why is that? Because of the currents?
Yeah, because of the currents, the trade winds. Yeah, and it's going west all the way around is the easiest route and the most popular, and the trade winds blow that direction, and so it's.
What about when you get to the east side of the Americas? How do you get back to the west coast?
You have to. So eventually you'll come around. You'll come all the way back around the Mediterranean, and then from the Mediterranean you'll sail over to Europe, right? So Western Europe.
Mediterranean, you go through the Suez Canal.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'd have to look. And then you finally end up in the Pacific, right? Okay. And then you have to you cross the Pacific. So from Europe down to the Azores, and then the Azores cross the Pacific down to Florida. Right, and then Florida across the Gulf, then through the Panama Canal, and then back up north to California.
Going into the Mediterranean and just
hanging out for a while. I think about it all the time, man. I think about it all the time. You just toss your anchor out there and you stay there as long as you want.
French Riviera, kick back.
And I've been doing a lot of research, and it's
stay here for the summer.
Yeah, and it's not as expensive as people think. It's really not, right? As long as you save up your money and you budget.
What's the ideal length for like a trip like that? What would be like a good where you leave it there and maybe fly somewhere else, then come back and then go to the next
Most of the people that I've seen that do that kind of like the tourist route, like they sail and then they'll stay maybe 2 weeks in Hawaii or 2 weeks in everywhere they go.
Yeah,
it's around 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, around 3 years.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's an adventure.
If you stop and enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, the guys that go nonstop, like, which I think is crazy. Like, there's guys that go solo nonstop. It takes about 9 months.
Isn't it crazy that, like, to go around the Capes, right? That's the gnarliest, like, like currents and whatever, water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you head west, hopefully by the time you come back around, you have enough skill to, you know.
True.
And the thing is, you have enough. You'll have learned enough that you'll have enough skill to negotiate those waters. But at the same time, too, modern day sailing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anything can happen, and the sea is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But with all of the modern technology that we have to read weather and to predict weather, and whatnot, I think it really just comes down to making good, sound decisions and having good judgment, right?
Like a tsunami hits in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, or you look at the weather.
You look at warning.
Yeah, or you look at the weather, right? And in your head, you're like, well, if I leave today, I can beat it. If I get in front of it, I can beat it.
Yeah.
Like, so that's one way to look at it. Or you say, you know what? Let me just wait a couple days here till it passes, and then I don't even have to worry about it, right? So it comes down to really making good decisions. I watched a
documentary of that woman who sailed around the world, and then she hit, like, she was about to make it back to, I think it was Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hit, like, some crazy storm.
Yeah.
And then she almost didn't make it, but then she did. She survived it, She went offline and everything.
Yeah. There's crazy. There's like there's the Golden Globe race, which is pretty amazing, right? So they do it they have to do it in boats that are no newer than like the 1980s, right? They're not allowed to have any modern equipment. They have satellite tracking and stuff for safety.
Yeah.
But they can't use like any modern navigational tools. They still have to use a sextant and do the kind of astronomical type. And because they can't use any modern tools, it's really hard for them to predict weather. The weather just is whatever they run into is what they run into. And that's pretty crazy. They'll start with a lot of guys. A lot of people will not even finish the race, their boats get, disabled or they got to limp somewhere.
And so, like, talk about running towards the bullets, right? Like, you get seasick and you got a boat.
Right.
You're going to sail around the world. There's so many other adventures you can do, right? And you choose that thing that's, like, kind of crazy for you.
I like stuff that regular people don't venture to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like those challenges. And so yeah. I think the hardest part, though, I think that people don't realize, and I'm starting to realize, and it's even freaking me out, like to get from California to Hawaii on average takes about 25 to 30 days. That's how long it takes to get from California to Hawaii. And if you do it by yourself, you're on that boat alone. There's nowhere to go, man.
That's a long time.
And boats get really small. Even if you have a big boat, they get really small really fast, right? And it's just you sitting on that boat, bobbing up and down through the water for 30 days. Like mentally, that could be a huge challenge for a lot of people.
You would go by
included.
yourself.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. Like people may think I'm crazy because I bring this up, but I had the opportunity a few years back. I had to do a transatlantic crossing, so I did a cruise. I was working for this rich family in Texas. I took them on a cruise from Florida, from Miami to Southampton, England. It was a 15-day cruise, right? It took 7 days to get from Miami to the Azores. So we finally came to port in the Azores, and we were able to get off the ship. But after 7 days, I was ready to get off that boat. I wanted to get on the land.
7 days.
I was ready to get off that boat.
After 7 days.
And this was on a huge cruise ship that had a casino, movie theaters, a gym. It had, but 7 days of waking up and looking around and seeing nothing but water. I was ready to get off that boat.
Man, my family, they wanted to take my mom and my stepfather, rest in peace, to Europe, to go to Hamburg, from New York City to Hamburg on a big ship or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I don't know, it's not my thing, like to be on the boat for that long,
I know.
But I was like, okay, all right, just to be together with them, whatever. That's something that, because he couldn't fly at that point,
Yeah.
But that he could do the boat,
Yeah.
But man, honestly, that's a big boat,
and that's
right?
a big boat.
You can do stuff. You can, you don't really feel the waves and the motion, right?
But on a small boat, I mean, my sailboat's a 38-footer. So it's a pretty decent size. There are people that do it in 30-footers, 32-footers. I have a 38-footer. It's a pretty good sized boat. But But yeah, I mean, that's all at 38 feet, man. It's from here to the wall in the other room, and that's all you have for 30 days, by yourself. And there's no real entertainment, right? That's why everybody brings books, because you can get satellite out there, but it's costly, right? For data packages out there, So most people don't do that. They just get enough data so they can send messages.
That's really interesting. I was just thinking, hey, you bring an iPad, you save movies, but you're kind of like, so connected in a way to like the nature and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Being in that kind of environment, right? Like the ocean, the waves, right? Like,
yeah. My wife says something to me that she thinks that's going to be the hardest part for me, because she says all the time, like, I can't remember how she says it, but I like to be alone, but I don't want to be by myself. Does that make sense? Like, I like having nice, quiet time and where I can concentrate on what I need to do, but I like having somebody.
That's really good.
Somebody
really
close by.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for 100%.
And she's like, that's you. Like, you like being alone, but you don't like being by yourself. So she thinks the hardest part is going to be that boat all by myself.
Yeah, you like to be, you like your space, but you like to be near
people, or at least have somebody around that you can lean on when you need to and whatnot, right? So yeah, that'll be the hardest challenge, I think.
You won't know until you're in it, right?
Yeah, no. But then even when you're in it, there's nothing you can do about it.
I guess it's like, yeah.
You can do about it, man. Like, it is what it is.
A weekend, right? You're like, you can turn back, but you can't turn back.
It's still another week back out. And then when you think about that, like if your goal is to get to Hawaii,
as well just get there.
Another week puts you that much closer to your goal. So you might as well keep going, right?
Yeah. That's another continuation of all the things you've done in your journey of life.
So
you started jiu-jitsu, okay, and we're black belts, and now get my black belt. Let's check out this fighting stuff, and you start fighting MMA.
Yeah.
How many fights did you do?
Just 3.
Just 3. Yeah. Still.
Yeah.
And you had a full-time job too.
Yeah.
You worked for.
Yeah, I worked for the government full time. My goal was never to be a professional fighter by any means. I mean, I had a family and I had a good job, but I think, like, especially coming up when in jiu-jitsu at that time,
and not just that, you had a gym too on top of that, right?
Yeah. But I think coming up in that time in jiu-jitsu, for everybody that got involved in jiu-jitsu at that time, I think MMA was something you at least had to try. Like, that was the goal, right? Like, we were doing jiu-jitsu to learn how to fight. Like, that was the goal. You want to learn how to fight, and ultimately you want to test yourself at some point. And so that's where I got.
Especially
I got to that
because
point.
you were involved like in the the early like pre-UFC, beginning UFC, right?
Yeah.
And that was
so that was just a progression, right? You did jiu-jitsu,
right.
And then you went into MMA, and that was just the progression.
What made you want to do a gym?
It was actually you. Right, because I had moved to Arkansas right after I left Albuquerque. I moved to Arkansas, and there wasn't a lot of jiu-jitsu out there. So there was Rolly Delgado, and Danny Dring in Little Rock. So there were a couple gyms in Little Rock, and then and Revolution. So shout out to my friend Abby and Jory Malone out there. Rest in peace, Jory. Mm-hmm. But so there were 3 gyms that I knew of in Little Rock, but Little Rock was 3 hours away from me. And then there was Lovato in Oklahoma City, but that was 3 hours the other direction. And so there was no place for me to train where I was living. And I remember I either emailed you. I actually have some old emails from me and you, man. And I either emailed you or we talked. And I said, Al, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have nobody to train without here. And I think you said something to the effect of, hey, man, sometimes you just have to train your own partners, I said I had a couple people that were interested. They like to roll around with me, and you're like, hey man, sometimes you just have to train your own partners, And so that's what I started doing. I started training them so they can help me get better.
Yeah.
And then more people wanted to do it, and then ultimately it was like, hey man, open a place and start training people.
Yeah, I remember you called me.
Yeah, so that's what I did. So yeah, and then it's just been it's been that ever since, man. Teaching people and opening jiu-jitsu academies. So, yeah. So, good times, man. Good times.
What's been your favorite part of teaching over these years? I shouldn't say just favorite. What are some of your favorite parts of teaching? off the top of your head?
You know, I mean, the best part is watching your students meet their goals, right? Like, you know, from starting jiu-jitsu and seeing their progression to the day they come to you and say, hey, I think I want to try a tournament. And they do their first tournament, you know, and the next thing you know, they're, you know, seeing them make the podium, seeing like that, that's really, really pleasing for me. But, you know, the other thing that I you know, when people ask me about jiu-jitsu and doing jiu-jitsu that I talk about all the time, like, you know, I got in it for self-defense reasons, right? And I think that's a very important part of it. But I think sometimes people go overboard with the self-defense stuff because I'll be honest with you. I mean, we've been doing jiu-jitsu for so long now. I can't even remember the last time I got in a fight, right? And I think some of that is due to jiu-jitsu. I think that my confidence and the way I carry myself just doesn't. But at the same time, too, what it has provided for me is like this huge sense of community. Like the majority of my really good friends all do jiu-jitsu, you know, and almost anywhere I go, I know people through jiu-jitsu, right? And so it's just really become this community of awesome people, and that's such a huge benefit, you know, for anybody in their life is to have that type of community.
Yeah, like Andrea, all these guys, right? It's like family, right?
Yeah,
it's like kind of friends. It's like
absolutely. And then especially people like Andrea and Felix and you know, they
all the OGs. You know?
Yeah. Well, they moved from the Bay Area to Hollywood because Andrea was going to school,
right?
And they didn't know anybody, right? But all of a sudden they joined the gym, and this gym becomes their community, man. All of a sudden they have a bunch of friends, a bunch of people to do things with, you know. So, so a good jiu-jitsu academy provides that type of environment, I think, and that's huge.
Yeah,
you know. So, and, you know, plus all the, you know, the benefits of you know, self-defense and you know, being in shape and doing some sort of exercise. I think the community is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, you said self-defense, but the community.
Yeah,
like that's the relationships, right?
Yeah, you know,
like all the OG guys, like the Gracie guys, like the like relationships in my life.
Absolutely. And then it's cool because, you know, I mean, you meet people from all over, and like you and I at Masters Worlds, when we go to Masters Worlds, how many of your old friends that, you know, you don't see all the time?
Yeah.
But when you do see them, it's awesome, right? And so, you have this huge community, man, and a network of friends that jiu-jitsu has provided for you. And like that's probably the best thing about jiu-jitsu. Don't get me wrong, the self-defense stuff and fighting, but again, you know, we've been doing this how long? I couldn't even tell you the last time I've come close to being in a fight, right? But the community, but I rely on the community almost every day.
Every day.
Yeah. So.
Going back to sailing, so you're gonna go to Hawaii, and then you're gonna go to French Polynesia, or you're gonna go?
I think.
What about Philippines?
No, so
Is it too dangerous?
Too dangerous.
They're gonna rob you. They're gonna take your boat.
It's too dangerous. I looked into it, right, because I'm half Filipino, but I have a lot of family in Hawaii, right, and went to high school in Hawaii. So sailing to Hawaii was always the first goal. I just want to show up there and see everybody and say, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then from there, I thought about, hey, well, what about the Philippines, right? But I started looking into it, and now super dangerous, man. Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Philippines, because I think it would be an amazing place to
pirates
sail
and stuff.
Yeah, especially in the southern side of the Philippines are really dangerous, man. Pirates and so a lot of people just skip and avoid the Philippines, which sucks because it could be a huge source of revenue, I think, for the Philippines, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. I mean, I can't even remember off the top of my head, but there's tons of islands out there to explore.
Philippines?
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge, right?
Yeah. And so it would be an awesome place to go, but out of everything that I've read, it says it's just too dangerous to do it. So yeah.
Have you seen the TV show War of God? It's a War of God, right? No. Sorry, God of War.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Jason
it?
Momoa?
Yeah. Have you watched it?
Yeah.
It's
pretty good. So, yeah, pretty interesting. But yeah, so that's it, man. Sailing, that's going to be my thing, you know, or I hope. We're going to try it and see how it works out. So I'm anxious this weekend. I start my first classes. Yeah.
So you haven't gone out on your boat yet?
I did, like, part of the process of buying a boat is doing what they call a survey. It's kind of like a homeowner's inspection.
Okay.
And part of that survey is doing what they call the sea trial, so actually taking it out and making sure that it sails right and everything functions and whatnot. Yeah, so we did that part of the sea trial for the survey and buying the boat, but now, yeah.
That's crazy. That's because it's not right. Like you do the thing for the day. It's like you're in it for like months.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
Years,
surrounded by water, nowhere to go. Yeah, but it's kind of cool too, right? Like, so I just got back from San Diego. I was working a concert down there this weekend. So I went down on Thursday and I stayed on the boat. I worked on the boat and I stayed on the boat Thursday, and then I had to do all my marina paperwork too. So I had to finish the lease on my slip and everything and whatnot. And the marinas are really cool, man. Like, I don't know much about this, and I'm starting to learn. But like, the marina has a gym. It has really nice like bathroom and shower facilities, laundromat.
So you park your boat there, and then you can do
and all part of that, man.
You can just live there, pretty much. Like
absolutely. And it's really cool, right? So I had to go in there and sign all my lease stuff, and the marina I'm in is owned by a company called Safe Harbor, and they own other marinas. But they were telling me like they have 3 other marinas in downtown San Diego. So I'm down in Chula Vista, and they said, hey, all you got to do is you got to get on the app and you reserve your spot in any of those marinas in downtown San Diego, and then you just sail your boat up there, man. Park downtown San Diego, and you can stay up to 3 days free. And the ones in San Diego have like huge swimming pools. They're just like resorts, So yeah, that's kind of cool, like to do on the weekends, and and then where we did.
How long does it take to sail to San Diego?
In all honesty, you probably wouldn't sail because it's not that far. Chula Vista to San Diego, it's really not that far. I would just motor there, to be honest with you. Turn the motor on and motor there.
Okay.
And it'd probably take an hour, to get there. And so, but then you can just, like I said, you park it somewhere new, and you can hang out there and. For 3 days, and like they have a whole resort there with swimming pool, restaurants, everything. And had I known, so where the concert was this weekend was right in this little bay area, and right off stage, so right off to stage right, they had a bunch of sailboats anchored out there, and they got to watch the show for free, right? So they just pull their sailboats up, drop their anchor, and a bunch of people watching the concerts from their boats. I thought, man, had I known, that would have been awesome. So yeah,
What else besides the boat? Is that where that's all you can think about right now?
That's been my obsession. That's been my obsession for the last.
I'm going to be honest. It fascinates me when I see you post pictures and just whatever you're posting.
Yeah.
I'm like man, that's just like so out of the.
What the hell is this dude up to now?
Yeah, no, but it's cool. It's really it's a cool life thing, right? And we're talking about how, like we did a podcast with one of the black belts, Ray Young, right?
Right.
And he was just talking about doing something hard every year,
right?
And that's an extreme. That's something even bigger than that, because it's like,
yeah.
I mean, one adventure, okay, then it's just like, but it's totally different. It's out of the blue, but it's like a very extreme piece of that, right? Because it's not just 1 year. It's like it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Commitment,
Speaking of, you asked about it earlier today, but Iris. Like, Iris is really like that's probably one of the most interesting things about Iris. Like, she's always seeking like the next challenge, and she always wants hard stuff. Like, I remember, they talk about. I remember a conversation that her and I had. They talk about fixed mindset and growth mindset.
Right.
You know the difference between those two, right?
Sure.
And I remember,
I feel like I talk about that with my kids, like, and then talking about it in a different way, right?
Right.
So,
saying
the same thing.
You have fixed and you have growth mindset, and during COVID, I went back to school. So I was in school, and I was killing it, man. I felt so good. I had a 4.0 grade point average, and I was killing it. And I wanted to maintain my 4.0. So next semester was rolling around, and I had a couple electives I needed to pick. And so I was looking through what electives were available to me. And of course, I was looking for easy classes because I don't want to jeopardize my GPA, right? So Iris is there, and we start talking. And she asks what I'm doing. And I tell her I'm looking to pick a class, but I want an easy one because I don't want to ruin my GPA. And Iris, very candidly, she says, I've never even thought about that. I said, what do you mean? And she goes, I've always taken classes that I thought were going to challenge me and where I could actually learn something. Like I never considered taking an easy class, you know? And right there, it just showed her growth mindset, right? She's always looking for something that's going to challenge her and force her to grow, right? And jiu-jitsu being that, and you can see what she's accomplished so far because she's always looking for a challenge. Like she was not even, I think she was maybe been training for like a year and a half when she came to me and she showed me like videos of ADCC, you know, like the ADCC tournament. And she was like, I want to do this. Like, all right, let's do it, you know? And, you know, and started gearing her training that way, and you know, hopefully one day she'll what's called. Ever since she's,
with that mindset and the not just the action that she takes every day, right? Like it's just a matter of time.
Absolutely.
Before
And
she
then
goes to ADCC.
the first opportunity she had to do the trials, she went.
Yeah, in Asia, right?
Yeah. She went to Asia just to do the trials, to get the experience and see where she stood against everybody else, right? But that's her mindset, man. It's crazy, you know. So yeah. So doing. Yeah,
because we want to take the easy way, right? The comfort zone.
I think most people. Yeah, I think most people, if given the opportunity, that's kind of what the average person does, right?
Yeah, like even doing a cold plunge, right? For example, like I don't want to do the cold plunge.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in there, but I do it just because it's hard, right?
Right.
Not because it's hard. I feel good after, right?
Yeah.
But just the hard part is good for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you feel like you did something, right?
Yeah. The reason why I'm laughing because I remember this discussion I had with you after you got the cold plunge here, right? And we tried it and whatnot and everything, and it had been here for a while.
We did it together?
No, we didn't do it together, but I came actually with Iris because she wanted to try it, so we did it. And it had been here for a while, and I know you had been using it. And then I came back here, and I talked to you. We were talking about the cold plunge, and I asked you, I don't know how I worded it, but I asked you, oh, do you like it or do you enjoy it? And you were like, no, man. You're like, no, it sucks. But I do it because, hey, you know, it's good for you, right? It's good for you. There's good, and you feel good afterwards, and you do. But while you're doing it now, man, it's.
And like that part of like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. And you do it anyway.
you do it anyways, yeah.
Especially you're in there like, oh.
Yeah. So that's you know, and
the sauna's nice. The sauna's nice, you know. I make it hot too, but like it's nice, you know.
Yeah.
But the cold plunge, there's no way. You know? Yeah, it's never good. I mean, but the thing is, your mind gets stronger.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gets strong. Gets used to it, right? Just doing something hard,
right?
And then that's cool. That's good. And then when you haven't done it for a while, you're like soft, right?
Yeah.
Your mind gets soft.
You don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You look at it and you're like, you know.
Especially it's like cold outside, you know, like, oh, man.
Yeah. But
cold and then more cold. Oh, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I think doing hard things, I think just like you were talking about, at least one hard thing a year or something, I think it's good for you, right? You know.
Being consistent with hard things, right? And because our lives are too easy, right? Like our daily, like overall, right?
Yeah.
Overall, like
reality,
compared
really
to
is.
like, I mean,
we live
100 years ago, 150 years ago, right?
Yeah. And the vast majority of us live pretty comfortable lives. I mean, we don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry. We're not dying in the street or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Cold shower. The water's warm when we take a shower, right?
That's right.
Unless you choose to make it cold.
That's right. From now on, no warm showers, no hot food. That's it. So yeah.
We did that podcast with Ray Young, and by the end of it, I'm going to compete again in jiu-jitsu.
Nice.
For sure.
Yeah.
Focus on the kids for the next 2 years for sure. But I think after that, like I'd like to do it again. I feel it.
Awesome.
You know?
Good.
Yeah. And then he got me to talk about like just jumping out of the plane, like a sky jumping, right? Whatever it's called. But I don't care too much to do it by myself. Like I don't feel like putting the time in. You know, I'll just jump out of the plane and say I did it. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, I went and learned to paraglide.
Paraglide?
Yeah. I went and did that a few years ago. I don't.
Paraglide is the triangle?
No, paraglide is.
Always get that messed up. The Brazil one.
It looks like a parachute, but they call it a wing.
Oh yeah.
And
what's the triangle one?
That's hang gliding.
Hang gliding, yeah.
Yeah, that's hang gliding. So paragliding and hang gliding are similar. Hang gliding is a lot faster because it's kind of shaped like a plane, and paragliding you kind of float around, right? And,
slower, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower, and but it's really cool. Like
you don't move around, right? Like that as much.
I mean, you can maneuver, but just not as fast, right?
Yeah.
But the cool thing about with paragliding is you can find thermals, and they'll lift you. So so you can stay up for a long time if you know what you're doing, and they'll lift you and give you elevation, and then you just kind of float back down. And so I wanted to try that, so I went and learned how to paraglide, and that was cool. But yeah, I think it's always. I think it's important to always have some sort of goal or some sort of. And I've always been like adventure minded. Like that's just kind of me, and so.
How did you? Speaking of, it's not adventure, but like you got into vans.
Yeah, my vans.
Your van, yeah.
Well,
start with that.
That
How
is
did like random he's into vans right now.
Well, that's kind of adventure related, right? Like I think at heart, I'm kind of like this vagabond, right? Like I don't like being in the same place, for too long. Like I like to move, and I like seeing new places and doing different things, and but life, life kind of. Life catches up with you, and you have responsibilities.
Yeah.
And so the van was kind of like my weekend getaway, right? Like I fixed up the van so I can camp in it, and then Friday night when you're done with work or whatever, you jump in your van, you can haul off to the mountains or to the beach, and stay for the weekend. I mean, Lotta from my gym is an amazing example of
she does that,
van
right?
life.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years now she's been doing that. And she's gone to some amazing places, man. If you follow her on Instagram, I mean, she goes to all of the national parks. I remember she told me she wanted time off from teaching, and I was like, "Yeah, go for it. Like, have fun, And she's got that old van of hers, and I had just got a call from her. She broke down in like Acton, north of here, like 200 miles north of here. She broke down. Well, it just so happened that I have AAA, and I have like the motorcycle and RV, so I get up to like 200 miles a year. So I drove up there, and I had her towed back from up there. I had her van towed all the way back to LA, and we put it in my buddy's shop over there by West Adams. So he fixed it up for her, and she said she needed time off, and so I gave her time off, and I said, "Hey, whenever you come back is when you come back." And I was looking at her IG, and next thing I know, man, she was like in New York. She drove that thing from LA all the way to New York, hit a bunch of different national parks, stayed in the city in New York, and then drove it all the way back here.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
That's great. Like, what the brain needs, right? It needs newness.
Yeah.
And it needs a challenge, right?
Yeah.
We need that,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd drive the van across the thing or boat, but for sure, like, switching up, like going to, I don't know, a different country or... even different place, right?
Yeah, I think the most inspiring thing about it, I think, is learning to live that minimalist lifestyle.
Yeah,
because in reality, what do we really need? In reality, we don't need a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
There's a quote by a guy named Sterling Hayden that I carry around on my phone, and this quote is responsible for really changing my life. Right, this quote is probably the sole reason why. Why I quit my job with the government to do jiu-jitsu and run jiu-jitsu academies full time, right? But part of the quote's a long quote, but part of it he talks about what does a man really need, and he says, about a place to lay your head at night, a place to sleep, a little bit of food in your stomach, and purpose. And then the quote ends with, what will it be? Broken the wallet or broken life? Like we put such an emphasis on money and making money. We don't really need a whole lot of money, right?
No.
And so he was more about, hey, he wanted to venture and create these memorable experiences, And so he kind of ends the quote like, "What shall it be? Broken the wallet or broken life? Like the choice is yours, And he talked about in that quote, he talks about the illusion of security, which I was caught up in. I mean, I had a great job with the government, don't get me wrong, but I was working every day. I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was in the office by 7, get off at 5, and then I would drive to Santa Fe to train. But I wasn't. I felt like just wasn't going anywhere. I was just kind of a a hamster on the wheel, spinning every day, you know, and I was afraid to step off of the wheel because the wheel had become this illusion of security for me, you know, and I wasn't really living life, but I was afraid to step off the wheel because I felt secure, you know, and you know, you have to, if you want freedom, you got to be willing to give up a little bit of security. And that's what I wanted. I wanted freedom. I wanted the opportunity to do and live life the way I wanted to live life, doing the things that I wanted to do. So it was a matter of stepping off the hamster wheel, giving up some of that security in order to obtain freedom. And yeah, so that's what I did. And
you're
never looked back and no regrets, you know? So.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
people talk about it, but you did it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
And again, back to that minimalist lifestyle. Like, how much do we really need, right? Like, here's a girl, an awesome, amazing girl. Laura's so awesome. I think the world of her. But man, she lives in her van with her cat, and she's gaining amazing life experiences. The things she's seen, the things that she's doing. But she doesn't have a whole lot, you know. She comes back off of her trips and works teaching jiu-jitsu. She's an amazing jiu-jitsu instructor, and I pay her the best I can. She saves up her money, and she's off to the next adventure, you know? So.
Wow.
Yeah.
We went to the ADCC in Vegas. When was it? 2 years? No, that was more than 2 years. 3 years ago?
It's one before last, yeah. So
it was, how many years ago? What year was that? 22?
22, I think, yeah.
22?
22.
And we were also at the one, I'm not sure if you were at the 2000 one, but 20 plus years, right?
Yeah.
The Grappler's Quest in Vegas.
Yeah.
At the Durango High School.
At Durango High School, yeah.
And people competing, you know, with no shirts or not. That's not a big deal, but the t-shirts and like board shorts, they didn't have
basketball
like
mesh shorts.
Right. They didn't make no-gi stuff at the time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they had a rash guard, like a surfer's rash guard that they printed on there that would come off after.
Maybe.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe.
You either
like the
t-shirt
Tapa
or
guys. The
bare-chested.
Tapa guys were the first guys to make actually gear. For that. But I was there sitting with you and just kind of taking it in. They were doing like the Hall of Fame thing, and
right.
I was like, man, it's good. And of course we saw all the opening ceremonies, and you had the Bruce Buffer, and you had they had everybody, the Pride announcer.
Oh yeah.
Fireworks, and I was like, man, this is surreal, you know.
Right. Well, you remember how ADCC used to be run, because you were doing them, but remember when you went up to Canada, that was like a gymnasium, like a high school gymnasium, right?
Man, they because you had to be invited, right? So they paid for your trip to go up there, right? It was like the top 16 grapplers of North America.
Right.
They had a Canadian trials, but then the U.S. they handpicked, right?
Right.
And so then they flew you up there. You went to Vancouver, and then I think they put you in a hotel that night because a lot of people came in like later in the evening.
Yeah.
And then, throughout the day. And then they drove us in the morning to some, I think Kelowna. I don't know what the name of the town. It was like in the middle of nowhere. It was like 3.5 hours.
Right.
In the middle of nowhere in British Columbia.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then it was like elementary school, middle school, but they had the best grapplers of North America, and now it's like on flow. They have a thing called flow grappling, and they have you know, it's like.
The reason I'm laughing is because I remember
Jeff
you
Weber
were up
doing
there.
Flying Triangle. Like they had the best of the best. Like,
it was
of America.
It was all the top guys there.
Yeah.
And I was at home sitting in my living room, glued to my computer, jiujitsugear.com. Because there was no streaming.
Right. The results.
So somebody was up there, and he was updating everybody as fast as he could on jiujitsugear.com in the forum. And so I was at home just glued to the forum, trying to get results and descriptions of what was going on. But there was no flow grappling. You couldn't log in and watch those incredible matches.
Yeah.
But you couldn't see them. Nobody could see them. And And then you look at what ADCC has become today, and it's
we all stayed in I was like a rundown, not rundown, but it was like the nicest hotel in town.
Right.
It was like had the Motel 6 vibes, but it was cool because we were there together, you know.
Right.
So we just all went into somebody's room. It was like 20, 30 of us, you know, like kind of spilling out into the hallway, and people were like, it was like a dorm, like a college dorm, right?
Yeah.
To have it like
It's crazy. It's crazy how far the sport has come and how much things have changed. And it's cool, though. It's awesome, you know?
I think the ADCC, like the ADCC in LA, the Long Beach one.
Long Beach, yeah.
I don't know if they had the same hotel that they did back in the 1990s, like the Pan Ams, like the 98, 97 Pan Ams.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you remember that or if you saw it, but they rented out, it was near LAX.
Yeah.
They rented out a hotel. Like they didn't rent out the hotel. Other people stayed there, like unfortunately for those people that weren't used to this kind of a thing. But a bunch of the Brazilians stayed there, and they all hung out. They hung their gis on all the balconies.
Right.
You know, and then there was like these gnarly dudes like just walking around. You know, like you know, so maybe they would have their shirt on or not. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's surreal, you know, just to see how far the sport has come even from that, right? Because that was that was the higher level of jiu-jitsu happening, right? Beginning in the U.S.
That was right. That was I guess, yeah. I mean, that was
like late 90s, whatever, 96.
Yeah.
Pan Ams.
Man.
And then that's one, right? And then two was the ADCC happening in Abu Dhabi.
Right.
And then the Grappler's Quest. Shout out to Brian Simmons and those years that he dedicated.
Yeah.
But they had the first no-gi tournament in Vegas at the Durango High School, and then they started having like these no-gi tournaments, which started, you know, growing, right?
Yeah.
And they had like the who's who, and they had all the best grapplers in it.
Well, Grappler's Quest at least on the West Coast, like that was the big one, man.
I mean, East Coast too, right? Everybody was in it, yeah.
Yeah, everybody showed up for Grappler's Quest in Vegas, man, and Durango High School.
And then to see, it's just the full like kind of to see how far it's come, right?
Oh yeah.
It was really cool, really special. This kind of moment, and then after that first one, and they did a second one, and then people complaining about this and that, and then the Craig Jones. I'm like, dude, like at first I was like, man, why on the same day, you know?
Yeah.
Because back in the day they had this CBJJO at the same time as the IBJJF Worlds, you know, and I'm like, oh man, here we go again, you know?
Yeah.
And then because I got stem cells with Mo, the promoter, right, for the ADCC, and so he was telling me all the stuff they're doing. I was like, that's amazing, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know how much work and money and everything else they put into everything, right?
Yeah.
And now they're gonna have it in Poland.
Are they?
The ADCC?
I don't know.
I think so. Is that right? In Poland.
I mean, Mo did such a great job, in my opinion. Like,
and then
really
you go back right in China. They had the ADCC in China, and like the mats were like falling apart, like separating. I was like, my dude, and then they have like this here. I mean, they should always have it in Vegas if you want it to grow in the U.S.
Yeah, I remember China. Yeah, I remember China. That was Tammy Griego went to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy Griego went to
Orlando Sanchez won that one, right?
Yeah. I helped Tammy get her. Something had messed up with her visa, so she messaged me right away, and I went down here to the consulate in L.A. and I was able to help her get
the Chinese
visa
one,
real quick. Yeah, so she can go. But yeah, ADCC in China.
What's going on with Poland? They have the next World Championships there. The ADCC Worlds, don't they have it there in Poland? I think so. I think that's what I saw.
I don't know.
And then they changed the thing to amateur. Just also like the money, like dude, like whatever. Like I'm cool because a few of the old guys chimed in on it, like saying like, hey, I would just be grateful that you're getting any money.
Anything.
Like Poland, it's in Poland.
Yeah, and I think it's hard.
And like, dude, like it's not like you're fighting in the cage. Like you're doing a grappling, like a wrestling kind of thing. Yeah, you can get your joints, but like, it's different.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people just forget. Like it's easy because for a lot of us, like this is our life. This is what we do.
Right.
And so I think in our heads we think it's a lot bigger than it is. You know what I mean? And for us, it is. When you've seen the growth, that you and I have seen, it's like it's become huge.
It's my life for so many years.
In the big scheme of things, in the big scheme of
world,
things,
the universe, right?
It's not that big. It's not generating those kinds of that kind of revenue. You know what I mean? So the fact that you guys are getting paid to do it, is amazing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not that old school guy who's like, well, we didn't get paid back then, so you shouldn't get paid.
No, we want people
don't
to
get
get
me
paid.
wrong,
Yeah.
I want them to get paid. But the reality of we're just not there, like growth wise, there yet, where these guys are.
No, I look at the YouTube, like the followers and whatever the views and stuff, and Flow Wrestling compared to like Flow Grappling, like Flow Grappling is big, man. The practitioners is what really makes, I think, the growth of it be bigger than like the wrestling, right?
Right.
And so me being in the wrestling world too, a little bit with, it's like it kind of puts things in perspective, and I'm like, why is that? I was trying to think. I don't know if that's the reason, right? But jiu-jitsu is like a lifestyle, right? You have like the master divisions. I mean, how big was the master world?
Yeah, crazy.
And so it's like something you can do for the rest of your life. Like we had Dresden in this last podcast. He's 17 years old, and he's like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to get my red belt, and I want to do this for the rest of my life as a lifestyle, right?
Awesome.
So I'm like, that's cool, right? Yeah. But like, I guess you can in wrestling too, but like, man, what are the numbers? You can't just.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like anybody can get it. Anybody can get involved with jiu-jitsu today, at any age. You can walk in a jiu-jitsu academy and you can start training. Anybody can do that, and there are more people training jiu-jitsu now than there ever was. Wrestling, not so much, right? Unless you have a kid involved in wrestling, right? You're really not. You know what I mean? I don't know a guy who didn't grow up wrestling or doesn't have a kid wrestling that watches wrestling, So.
But in jiu-jitsu, you can start.
But in jiu-jitsu, anybody, any age can start today if they want to. So,
And enjoy the benefits, which we talk about the community, right?
100%.
And besides all the self-defense and the fighting stuff.
Yeah. And that would be a big piece of advice to anybody, especially these young kids that I see, like young kids that are moving out of their hometowns and wanting to go to the big city or move out of their town to go to college somewhere. Now, obviously, college they'll meet people and whatnot, but like if you want to meet people or you don't know a whole lot of people and then you want that sense of community, like man, walk in and join a jiu-jitsu academy.
Right.
Yeah,
you can almost go anywhere in the world now, like Europe. I mean, anywhere in the world. Yeah. And if you have like this skill set, you're kind of valuable, like wherever you go. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean. I think about that too. Like even if I wanted to, like, or even if I needed to, like if I was traveling right on my boat, like wherever I go, like I have friends that own a jiu-jitsu academy in Hawaii, right? The old high school friends. Mm-hmm. And if I needed to, or if I wanted to, when I pull up in Hawaii and I needed a few funds, like man, you can teach privates, you can do jiu-jitsu teaching privates, you can. There's tons of things you can do. You can teach some classes. You can walk into a jiu-jitsu academy, man, and say, hey, you guys looking for a new instructor? Work a couple days a week, earn a few bucks to get you to the next place.
Or get to meet the network, right?
Yeah, get to meet new people.
I was telling you, like the biggest thing that jiu-jitsu has given me is like the network of people, like, all types of people, like crazy high level, just quality people.
Yeah. So, and that's, and again, that's in life. I think young people need to know and understand that in life, like that's networking is key and it's invaluable, right? Like the vast majority of the people I know, like when it comes to like work or jobs or stuff like that, they get referred by a friend or somebody knows somebody that's looking for somebody, you know what I mean? And so networking and knowing people and treating people accordingly so that they're nice to you and you're nice to them and they're willing to help you out. But man, networking is so important. So,
yeah, we talked a little bit about the military, like what's the good age, and should kids go into the military right after high school, and just because you were in, and now you have experience also with your son and just a lot of people, right? With what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Like we were talking just before we started this. I think after high school, I think it's really important that kids take a year off, man, just to kind of find themselves and take a break. Because in all honesty, right, like, you graduate high school, that's 12 years of school you've been going. 12 years in a row, just school.
Sitting in the classroom.
What's a 1 year break after that, man? Take a break and
be free, like do all the stuff we're talking about.
Travel somewhere, figure it out, and go look at life at other places and see how other people live and take a year off, right? Because I think it takes a certain maturity level, too, to start college if you're going to be serious about college. A lot of kids go straight to college because they don't know anything else, and they really don't want to be there. right? But they just, all they know is school, and they feel like I'm supposed to go to college. So then they end up in these college classes, and they really don't want to be there, right? And so, take a year off, take a year off to figure things out, and, and maybe even a couple years. It's still not a big deal. I mean, you graduate high school, what, 17, 18? Take a couple years off. You're only 20 years old, man.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll find hopefully you'll figure a few things out, or you'll meet somebody that can mentor you or guide you, and point you in the right direction. But yeah, I think it's important. And as far as like the military, I think it's one of the most underrated things that people, my son, I'll give you a perfect example. My son, Angelo, right, graduated high school and decided he wanted to join the military. He joined the Marine Corps, did 6 years in the Marine Corps, right? So he's 25 years old, right? He's got the GI Bill, or he's got the college fund, the GI Bill and college fund, right? So he can go to college, and they'll pay for college, and he has that for life. He doesn't have to go to college right away. He can keep that for life. He has probably one of the most important things you can have is the VA home loan guarantee. So he can go and he can buy a house, zero down, no money down, and the government will step in and guarantee that loan for him, so he can get into a house. Like that's huge. At 26 years old, and my son was pretty frugal, and so he was smart with his money, and so he came out and he had a good chunk of change in the bank that he had saved, and he has the power of the VA loan if he wants to buy a house, right? He has the GI Bill that'll pay for all of his college, and then even on top of that, if he were to go to college here in California, he can go to any Cal State school here in California, tuition free, because I'm a veteran. And then he could save his GI Bill. So he can go to college and graduate here in California for free and get a bachelor's degree, right? And then go off. And then anywhere, when he's 35 years old, if he decides he wants to go back to school and change things up, he still has his GI Bill to pay for all of that, I mean, so, and he did 6 years in the Marine Corps, but you don't even need to do 6 years to get all those benefits. You just have to do the minimum, which I think now is like 4 years. And if you're 20 years old, what's 4 years, man?
Yeah.
What's 4 years?
It's like the most successful, business people. They have either a black belt or like martial. They're in martial arts or they're in the military. They have those backgrounds. Yeah. One or the other or both.
Yeah. I think they're really important, right? Especially the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, right? Well, I don't know, some of the things happening lately. I don't know. We won't get into that. But some of the things happening lately. But it
choose to conquer.
It takes so.
Kevin's.
I don't want to say it used to. I'm not going to be that guy. I want to say it takes so long, and you have to put in so much work to earn the black belt that it changes you, right?
Yeah, that's it changes
one of the
you. Things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah.
Growth, right?
Yeah.
And the relationships.
Yeah. So yeah. I want to get into that other stuff, but I'm not going to get into that.
It doesn't matter. No. It's just funny. The whole thing's funny.
I know. I was thinking about it earlier today, and I was like, man, I don't know.
During the pandemic, right? Like it was kind of crazy, right? With all the things going on and riots and whatever, and there was a sense of calm and peace that our gym gave to me. And I reached out to people. Anything goes down, like we'll meet at the gym.
Right. Yeah.
It was like a simple thing, but no matter what, like it was gonna be okay,
Yeah.
And people were messaging me when it was trending that they were gonna come to Burbank, right? They're gonna come here, and so
yeah. Well, again, that just goes back to networking, right?
Yeah,
networking and tribe.
And right? people were like, they were like communicating, messaging me, like if anything was gonna go down, like we had people like lookouts, right? Kind of people that were in the, fire or police or whatever,
Yeah. But again, that like I said, that comes down to again networking and community and having the having people that you can rely on, building those relationships and having
trust,
people that you can rely on. Because we all, at certain times of our life, we all need help, right? We all need help, and the worst thing to be in this world is to be in a position where you're lonely and there's nobody to reach out to help you, but Jiu-Jitsu again creates a community and you make friends and we all need help at some point and and if you have that community, there's always people that you can reach out to for help.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, like the worst place you can be in life, and unfortunately there are some people there, but is where you're absolutely lonely and you have nobody to reach out to, man. You know? So lucky for us, if you have a jiu-jitsu academy or if you do jiu-jitsu,
yeah,
you know, there's usually somebody you can reach out and talk to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even just as an instructor, right? I mean, you know, you got into this and I got into this and we started teaching jiu-jitsu and we wanted to teach jiu-jitsu, but somehow you become a counselor, you become social worker, you become, you know, to a lot of your students.
Yeah.
You become the guy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you know, and you provide that service to a lot of your students as well. So
yeah, that's it. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for your friendship and everything, right? You know, but loyalty, just, I don't know, our relationship, I really value just all the years and just all the things, because things come and go and things change, right?
Absolutely.
But it's the relationships, that the feeling, right? The brotherhood, the everything, that is what stays, right? No matter what, we haven't seen each other for whatever bunch of years, and not you, but like just at the master worlds, right? Or at the worlds, right?
Yeah.
And you can act like nothing.
Well,
nothing
man,
happened, right?
ADCC was awesome,
Right?
because to see TP, to see Tom Pless, and
right?
to see Cliff,
Yeah.
and like after so many years not seeing them, but then to see them again was
like nothing.
Man, was
right?
so
like,
awesome. Yeah.
Like nothing happened,
Yeah,
right?
it was so
20 years. It was.
It was amazing to see them, man, and spend a little bit of time with those guys, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
We're trying to organize just the evening. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but just an evening, we have dinner or we go to a bar or whatever.
Right.
And just one evening, and we get all the old school guys together. You know,
Right. Yeah.
like the Tates, the Plas, Cliff, just all the guys, right?
Yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Wisniewski's,
Yeah.
Lauren, you know, all the guys, right?
Yeah.
And
That would be awesome. That
right?
would
Just
be
for
awesome.
one night, like you know,
Yeah.
figure it out, figure out the date. Got to make that happen before it's
Well, next time, yeah. I mean, next time.
too late.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing a lot of them are still back in New Mexico, right? I know
think
Cliff
so.
and Tom are in Texas, but
Yeah,
that's
but
not too far from New Mexico.
They'll come.
And
He goes
so-
actually he goes for Christmas. They both come.
Awesome.
That's why we're thinking about around Christmas time. I usually go see my mom for Christmas too.
Yeah. And I still have family in New Mexico,
There you
so
go, yeah.
So it's you know,
Could happen, right?
Angelo and Nathan are out there, so
Oh.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, both my sons are out there, and right now 2 of my granddaughters are out there. So everybody's
There you
still
go.
in New Mexico.
There you
man.
go. There you go.
New Mexico. So yeah, we should do it next time. We're all back in New Mexico. We'll all get together. It'd be nice to see everybody. That's for sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me. I enjoy
Yeah.
these. I enjoy these discussions, man. Sitting down and talking with you, they're a blast. So.
I don't get into the simulation, and you know, like for example, like you sharing me the story of not to go on like a too much of a tangent, but like you know, you and your dad passed away, like the police officer here in Burbank, like somebody, like the fact that he was on that patrol, like you just see these random things that happen, right?
Right.
And you can't help but like, man, like are we in a simulation? Are we really?
Yeah,
like, is this like,
Well,
what are the
there's more-
chances? What are the
something's
chances,
going on.
right?
There's more to it than just,
and there's
you
more
know.
situations that happen, right?
Yeah,
Like you think about somebody and all of a sudden they call or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah. So.
And then in like 5-10 years, like what's gonna happen, right? With technology, 15 years, with I don't know, all the nanotechnology and
Yeah.
you know, are people gonna live forever in 20 years? You know,
It'll be interesting. I think that's the one. I think that's the.
and do we want to? You know,
I'm like one of those guys that like I don't. Man, I look forward to the future. I'm not one of those guys that cling to the past. Like I look forward to the future. Like I'm totally amazed by AI and the things that people are doing with AI and the direction it's going. Like I'm totally amazed by it, and I feel almost like, not to put a downer on this session, but you know I'm in my 50s. I think that the average age of American male is mid 70s. I know my dad was about 75, 76. So you know at I don't want to say at best, but I probably have, I don't know, maybe 25 more years, you know, maybe 25 more years, hopefully more, but let's say 25 more years, right? I'm saddened that I'm not going to see the things that I think are going to happen You know, I'm excited for my kids because I think some amazing things are going to happen. I think the future is going to be amazing, and as far as from a technological perspective. So I'm happy that my kids will be able to see some of that stuff. But I kind of feel like, man, like I would like to see.
You would like to see, right? So
Yeah,
there's like, I'm positive too, right? Like the Albert Einstein says, like you can either choose that the universe is on your side or against you. And I choose to think that it's on our side.
Yeah, absolutely.
And who knows, with all these things, are we gonna live forever? Do we want to live forever? I don't know. We'll see when it comes, right?
Yeah.
Reverse aging, like you're gonna be instead of being 75, you're gonna be 25, right?
Well, I think
or whatever age you want. You know?
I don't know what it is, but I think we're kind of already seeing that, right? Like,
I mean, the age when our parents, when they were, you know, it's different thing, right?
Yeah.
Totally different thing.
Just go back 30 years and look at what somebody who was, you know,
our age
looked like, and then look at us and looking at. I mean, there's a stark difference, I believe. You know, people in their 50s now are still young. They're still doing amazing things. They're active. They're whatnot. And you know, you go back 30 years and look at people in their 50s and the way they were living life and the way they were. So it's you know. Something's happening.
Definitely.
You know, so.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Legacy
Thank
West
you,
Adams.
Yeah.
Instagram, Legacy West Adams.
I'm going to have to change my name from the BJJ Biker to the BJJ Sailor.
BJJ Biker.
I'm going to have to change my name now. So, yeah. So.
Hopefully you'll stop by Legacy Santa Clarita.
For sure, tomorrow
evening. We have our first classes.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you're around, say hi to the. Do you ever been to that Harley up there?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No. The north side of town is really like I don't.
Do you ever go to the one in Hollywood or Glendale?
Which one? The Harley?
Yeah, Harley's.
Oh yeah. Glendale. I mean, I live real close to Glendale. Right. So always buying.
I think it's the same guys. You know.
Oh, you know what? You're absolutely right. So. I think they moved though. The original Santa Clarita Harley Davidson was in this warehouse type,
probably
kind of like what's it called? District was mostly industrial. Mm-hmm. I think they moved. I think they might have moved from where they originally were because I have been to that Harley Davidson dealership before, but I think they moved somewhere else because the outside that you were showing that didn't look familiar to me.
Right. Yeah, I think they upgraded, right?
Yeah, definitely upgraded from where they were.
Yeah,
and it's owned by the guy from.
The Terminator.
The Terminator.
Yeah, the liquid one.
Yeah. He's the owner of it. So, yeah, very cool. Well, I will try to be there tomorrow night. I'll yeah.
Good.
All right, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.